What's up, y'all? This is Michael Miles of the Plot Twist 215, back at it again. So, we are a little over a week away before Wakanda Forever, aka Black Panther 2, drops in theaters. It is wildly anticipated, and it seems to promise that it's going to be a great film, going to be a great experience, and looking forward to seeing how it does in the theaters. I'm sure it's going to break all types of records. And obviously, this is the follow-up to the wildly successful original Black Panther that dropped in 2018, starring Chadwick Boseman, or the late Chadwick Boseman, as well as a host of other amazing actors and actresses who did a great job in that film, in my opinion. With that being said, I want to give my 2 cents on something about this film. Some may say it's old news. It's all right. I'm going to give my 2 cents anyway, because why not? And it has to do with the idea of T'Challa not being another actor to play him, right? So Chadwick Boseman not being replaced with someone to play T'Challa in the film. And so people have all different opinions on the matter, and they feel different ways about it and whatnot. And so I want to give my 2 cents on that for those who care. Real quick, take a second, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell if you find this valuable. Make sure you do that, and to get updates or to get alerts about videos when they drop on the channel. So with that being said, in my opinion, I believe that it was a smart move for them to not recast T'Challa. And I have 2 reasons for that. 2 reasons why I believe I support that move. The first has to do with just the legacy of Chadwick. This is a person who was at the helm of, again, the wildly successful Black Panther film that dropped back in 2018. And a lot of it was really because of his contribution to the film. Him as the head, as him the person playing Black Panther, playing T'Challa in the film. He obviously contributed to the success of that movie, as well as all 4 films that we saw him show up in as the character. We actually, he shows up in What If, in the series on Disney Plus. But in terms of his big screen showings, he showed up in 4 movies, and he brought a lot to the role. And he did a great job. And so to replace him in the second film, it would kind of seem to me as a slap in the face. I mean, at the end of the day, listen, 20, 30 years from now, if they do another Black Panther film, or they do another rendition or reiteration of him, they're going to recast him, right? It's just a matter of time before they do that. We've seen this in every major superhero, and maybe even some of those who may be considered minor heroes. We've seen this happen, right? It's going to happen. We've seen it with Batman, we've seen it with Superman, we've seen it with Spider-Man. It's going to happen, right? But in this, I mean, to do it so soon, it probably would have left a sour taste in the mouth of many people who were big fans of what Chadwick did in the first film. So that's my first reason. But of course, they don't make these decisions just based off of sentiment, even though a lot of people, his coworkers, really close friends with him, apparently. But they don't make these moves because of that. And this brings me to my second reason why I believe it was a good move from a business standpoint, right? For the MCU, for them to recast T'Challa and replace Chadwick with someone else in this role, I think it would have been a very bad business move. Reason being because, listen, people go hard after these movies. Well, those of us who are really big fans, we bring a really critical eye, right? So when people go watch this film, if they would have recasted him, I mean, most of the time, I think a lot of the time, people are going to watch it as they're watching the movie and enjoying it and whatnot, would spend a lot of time comparing whoever that person would be to Chadwick Boseman and his portrayal, what he brought to it. It's just going to happen, right? And I think that would take away from the film in terms of its success. Now, I think it's still going to do well, but in terms of people's opinions of it and walking away with it, I think that'll be a distraction if they were to do that from a business standpoint. And I think they made a safer move to have someone fill the mantle of Black Panther, or to fill the shoes with someone, using someone that fans are already familiar with. It seems to be Shuri. I haven't done, a lot of homework to dig, but apparently from the trailers, it appears it's going to be her. And that's a safe move to do that, right? People love Shuri in the first film, and it just makes a lot of sense for them to do that. And there's a precedent in the comics for her playing Black Panther. I think that was the safest move. They know what they're doing, right? They know what they're doing with this, and I think that for them to to make the move that they did, I think it was a smart move. Again, for those two reasons. And agree with me, not agree with me, that is completely okay. It's all right. But again, I think either way, I think the film was going to do well anyway. Again, it hasn't come out yet, but I mean, it's expected to do well. I think the whole world is going to go see this movie, considering the success of the first one, which was definitely a huge cultural. It made a huge cultural impact, arguably more than any of the other films, including the ones that did better, performed better in the box office. So your Endgames, the Infinity Wars, all that. But I think from a cultural impact standpoint, I don't think there's any movie that they put out there that had the same impact as the first Black Panther did. And it looks like this one may have a similar impact. So that's that. There you have it. Those are my two reasons. I fully support their decision to not recast T'Challa for going forward. I don't know what the plans will be now since we have the multiverse, since we have that in the play, they could do that, right? Because the door has been open for that, for another T'Challa film looking a little bit differently. That could happen, right? So that's that. So with that being said, again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and all that good stuff. Until next time, I'm Michael Miles with the Plot Twist 215. Peace.